Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, welcome. My name is Zack and I am a makeup artist and medical esthetician based in Toronto, Canada. Today is going to be a very exciting video, at least I'm really excited. That is because we are going to be testing out these. These are the BK Beauty x Angie Hot and Flashy Brush Kit. I have the pre-ordered kit. It took a minute to get to Canada, but now that they are here, I am so excited. I've got my brushes from Angie, some of the other kind of filler brushes from BK Beauty. Angie is someone I've been watching for about 5 or 6 years now, and Angie has some of the best makeup recommendations, and I have my little tray right here with some of the products Angie has influenced me to buy over the last few years. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So as my base, I have on my Paula's Choice Wrinkle Defense SPF, which is an all-mineral tinted sunscreen that Angie actually inspired me to purchase a while back. And to prime my skin, I'm going to continue on with my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. And then to prep my lips, I'm going to use my LANEIGE Lip Glowy Mask in the shade Berry. Prime my eyes, I'm going to be using my Hourglass Veil Eye Primer. I'm going to start by doing my eyes first because that's just kind of the mood I've been in lately, and we have 5 different brushes to test out. One thing I love about these brushes is that Angie has numbered them in a way that you kind of follow for your application. She has a wonderful video on her channel where she kind of talks about each brush, when to use it, different purposes for it, and the little card that comes inside, it kind of tells you what to do with everything as well. So we are going to be using the brushes in order, kind of how she intended for them to be used. I'm going to be using my Natasha Denona Glam eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to be starting with the A501 brush to do my all over shade. I'm using the light kind of taupey color in the palette. And using the kind of belly or the side of the brush, I'm going to lay this on lash line up to the brow bone. Brush, it does a really nice job. You can either kind of do what I'm doing and you can kind of press it on. That will give you a little bit more pigmentation, or if you want a lighter application, you can kind of swipe it on. I like a little bit more saturation within the color, so I really like to press. That will give me a little extra coverage and cover up some of the veins I have on my eyelids. But for something like my socket line up to the brow, I don't want as much color as I don't have as much to kind of cover there. So that really works with doing a gentle sweeping motion. I feel like this would also be excellent for concealer, although she did include a concealer brush, which I'm so excited for. A502 brush, and I'm going to be going into the slightly darker matte shade of the palette. So this is more of like a mid-tone brown, and I'm just going to kind of press and bounce the point of the brush into that shadow. By tilting my chin up and looking down, it has my eyelid stretched without lifting the brow, so nothing's going to be warped. I'm going to place my brush where I want the most color payoff, and I'm going to start by gently kind of wiggling the brush right where I want it, and then I'm going to slowly kind of drag it in and sketch that color slightly further in. Once I have that darker shade applied into my socket where I want it, take a little bit more on the brush, tilt my chin back. Now we are going to throw a little bit of like an anti-aging eye lifting trick to this look. So what I want to do is I want to look at my eyes. So find where my eye starts kind of going downwards, because my eyes are hooded and slightly downturned, and I want to lift the effect. I want to have a more kind of youthful lift to the eyes. So I want to find where my eye starts going down. So for me, that's about right here. I'm going to place my brush right here and flick that kind of mid-tone shade towards the tail of my brow. And what that's going to do is that's going to help give us a little bit of a lift. That way it makes the eye look like it's going upwards instead of downwards. You don't have to be overly careful, just kind of press and flick. And whatever's left on my brush, I like to kind of drag that color inwards. And if it's a little messy right now, don't worry, we're going to go back and fix it. A503. This is the large kind of blending brush. I am not going to use any shadow on this. Think about this as your magic eraser or your softener. If you are applying your eye makeup and you make a mistake, you can use something like this to really clean up the edges. I'm going to hold it lower down so there's less pressure on my brush. And then I'm just going to make little circles. And since I'm holding this so far down, it's going to kind of create a less precise blend, which is going to give it more of a soft focused hazy effect. And then as I'm blending that color out, as it's starting to kind of blow out like this, I'm going to keep it pressed in the socket, but now I'm going to tilt it up almost at a 45-degree angle. That's just going to kind of push the shadow up a little bit higher, and that is going to give you more of a gradient effect. So it's almost creating like a transitional color without putting in the extra work. You're just taking that excess product and blending it upwards. Still have that depth and dimension, but compared to this side, which I haven't blended out yet, it's just a softer effect. A504, which is a small kind of precise detail blending brush. And I'm going to take it into this dark kind of shimmery tone. Start at the lash line and almost scribble on a little bit of depth right here at this outside corner. So imagine where we just blended that darker shade, we're going to go just inside of that line. Roughly sketched on, does not have to be perfect. A505, this is the flat kind of all over glitter or kind of shimmer shading brush. Little circular motions to pick up that color on the brush. Press that shimmer shade on and swipe it on. I'm going to take this just to below my socket line because I really want this shade to be focused on my eyelid. That way, when my eyes are open, they're just going to catch the light. Having a little bit of a soft light reflect on the eyelids, it's going to almost make the eyelids look a little bit smoother. Some people feel like they can no longer wear any type of shimmer on the eye because it's going to make every line and wrinkle kind of show up and just be really unflattering. But the trick is, use a flat brush like this that's going to really kind of sheer the product out, and then use a shade with a light reflect to it. So not a chunky glitter, but something with a little bit of a shimmer to it. And then just really concentrate on working that on the eyelid part with the light shimmery shade on it. Look a little bit brighter, a little bit more wide awake. And then where you have the darker shades, that's going to create a nice contrast. That way you're just making the eye look a little bit smoother, a little bit more awake, a little bit fresher. Same A505. Go into a slightly lighter shimmery tone, and then with that very point of the brush, as you can see, it's almost like a slightly rounded triangular point on this brush. That's going to be great for really getting into this inner corner of the eye, so you can really kind of press and then feather in that shade. By adding that little bit of light to the inner corner of the eyes, you're just going to look more refreshed, wide awake, and like you are ready to take on whatever your day or night has in store for you. A503, again, that is that large fluffy blender that we're using without any shadow on it. And I'm just going to use that to wipe back and forth on the perimeter of the shadow. For my upper waterline, I'm going to be using the Sephora Retractable Eyeliner in the shade Slate. And on my lower, I'm going to be using the Sephora Retractable Eyeliner in the shade Shimmering Taupe. For foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. And I have the shade 0.5-2, very light. And I'm going to apply that using my BK Beauty number 101. Clinique Chubby Stick Highlight in the shade Hefty Highlight. Now we are going to be trying out the A506, which is the concealer brush. And I'm going to be using this with the Lancome Tinted Idol Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. And I have the shade 110C. I am at a loss for words. Everything looks really nice. And the mirror I use is not the most flattering mirror. It is the little Simple Human hand mirror, and this is a 10 times magnifying mirror. Angie, you have done it. So I'm going to fast forward through this. I'm going to set my face with my BK Beauty number 104 and my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Loose Powder. the BK Beauty number 106 Round Foundation, and I'm going to be using the Buxom Wanderlust highlighter in the shade White Russian. I'm over the moon with how my skin looks. Like, I don't know if you can tell, like, I am legitimately giddy. So I'm going to use my Buxom Staycation bronzer in the shade Rooftop Tan with my BK Beauty number 103 bronzer brush. So we are going to use the brush from the collection I was second most excited for, and this is the A507. This is the Angled Blush Brush. L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Satin Blush in the shade Rosewood. So now most of the product is off the brush, so I'm going to keep the kind of small thin point facing upwards, and I'm just going to kind of brush and diffuse it. BK Beauty number 102 large powder brush, and then my Hourglass ambient lighting powder in Ethereal Light. I'm going to pick up the mid-tone shade I applied on my socket and the shimmer shade I applied on my lid. I'm going to mix those together, tap off the excess, look up, and I'm going to run this under my eye. Take my A503, that brush we've been keeping clean just to take the edges off things. Hourglass Ethereal Light. Blow out any of those harsh edges. There you go, so you can see side to side. I still have my intensity, I still have the depth, it's just softer. To finish off, I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Bare Minerals Mineralist Lip Gloss in the shade Ingenuity. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray and give myself a mist. Here is our final look. We've done eyes, we've done face. You can probably tell from my face, from the silly smile I've had throughout this entire video. I absolutely love these. My standout are the two kind of complexion brushes. Number one being the concealer brush, hands down, absolutely love this. The blush brush, really, really nice brush. And then you have the eye brushes. I really think Angie hit it out of the park with having a brush for kind of every step. I really, really like these. Now, I feel like if you are a makeup beginner or someone who doesn't have brushes, you just want to kind of build up a nice basic set, you can do almost any look with these brushes. For me, I've been a makeup artist for over 10 years. I have a lot of brushes, like way too many for the normal person. These are a very welcome addition to my makeup collection, and if you have someone who maybe you're trying to inspire to get into makeup, or they are just kind of discovering makeup for the first time, no matter what their age is, I feel like this would be a very welcomed addition for any makeup lover at any age. Doesn't matter. If you've got someone who loves makeup, I think this would be a great set. If you were going to add another brush from BK Beauty's permanent line to the collection, then I would add the 101 Contoured Foundation. This is just one of the best foundation brushes I've ever tried. Like, better than a beauty sponge. Just, it's a home run brush for me. That is my review for the new BK Beauty times Angie from Hot and Flashy brush collection. I'm head over heels in love with this brush set. So I was so eager for these to make their way to Canada. I was checking my shipping information every day. I couldn't be happier. These were worth the wait. I feel like my face says it all. Like, I am just over the moon with these brushes, and you will be seeing these a lot more in my future videos. So I will add the link to these brushes in the description box down below. I'm not an affiliate. I don't make any type of money, but if you love these brushes, I want you to be able to find them. So absolutely love these brushes. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share it with a friend. I will see you all in the next video. Bye, y'all.